But we started the show talking about our fighting Phils because we are less than a week away. You know, there hasn't been that much buzz. We've talked about this before, mainly because you had the Eagles go to the Super Bowl. I think a lot of Phillies fans were frustrated with the way last season ended, understandably so. But they're still a very good baseball team. And Mike and I have gone at this a couple of times where he's nervous about the team. But when you look at the lineup, they still have one of the best lineups in baseball. And you look at their pitching staff, I know health's going to be a big issue, but if they stay healthy, they're going to have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. And when you got a good lineup, Ray, and you got a good pitching staff, usually a recipe for success.
We're all still hurt, is what it is. This city is still hurt by what happened to them in that Mets series and the second half of the season, where it was like, oh, no, this team can find the gear again. This team can find the gear again. Never found the gear again. People are still living in that hurt. I understand. And now you've seen them not do it 3 consecutive years in the postseason. And the bats go cold at the worst possible time. I keep feeling like every time I see the Dodgers make a move, I've said this a million times, every time the Dodgers make a move, 2023 hurts me even more because I was like, that was their chance. They win just one of those games against Diamondbacks, go to the World Series. I think they could take care of business there. They would have had this team would have had their run. I understand you're hurt by this team. But look, and you brought this up, nationally, the talking point isn't, is this Phillies team cooked? It's, wow, this Phillies team is still a top 5 team in baseball. Wow, this Phillies team still has a chance to go win a World Series. That's the reality of the baseball team you have. I understand. You now know the concerns. They've smacked you in the face before. But get up off the mat, all right? Come on. This window is not closed. This run is not over. Do not start just ceding to, I don't think the baseball team has it anymore. This is a team that's going to be playing in the postseason.
Yeah, you're right. It's interesting because on a national level, everyone has the Phillies as a true contender. And then when you look at Vegas, they have the Phillies as a true contender. I mean, they got the Phillies as the 3rd best odds to win in the National League. They're only a plus 600. The Braves are a plus 550, so that's neck and neck. Now, obviously, the Dodgers are the favorites at a plus 135. But nationally and in Vegas, they got our Philadelphia Phillies as a true contender. So that's why we threw out the question to start the show, which Phillies are facing a make-or-break season? Ray says Alec Boehm. I went with Bryson Stott. But we got a caller on the line, Anthony from Paoli, who's got an interesting Philly that he says it's a make-or-break season. Anthony, what's up, man? You're on the Fanatic.
Good morning, Phil. Good morning, Ray. How you guys doing?
Not too bad. It's Friday, brother.
That's right, man. The weekend's here. A little windy, but that's all right. We'll manage. So,
what do you got on the Phils?
Go ahead. Well, I think my Philly for a make-or-break season is Rob Thomson, and I'll explain why. I think that if we don't make the playoffs, or if we do make the playoffs and get bounced into wild card or NLDS, I think it comes down to Rob Thompson's job at that point, because you're going to get all the critics and the buzz, man. It's going to be, why isn't he shaking the lineup up? Why is it still this righty-lefty thing? Why does he keep pulling the starters out of the 5th and 6th inning? And even if he's backed off on some of that stuff, I still think, it's still going to be that question. He's always going to be the one that's going to take that criticism if you don't. I mean, the expectations this year is you got to go out and win the World Series. So I don't know. I feel like. And you got to do it early. I know that April and May is people say, oh, it's irrelevant. But if you play 500 baseball this early, and you're playing catch up for the rest of the season, you got to come out and win games. So I think a lot of it's going to be on Rob Thomson this year.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with, but I've been very critical of Rob Thomson. But the crazy thing is, he's one of only 3 managers in Major League Baseball that has brought their team to the playoffs 3 straight years. I've been critical of him, and I do agree with you. I think it's a make-or-break season, but when you look at what he's done in 3 seasons, it's kind of crazy that we're talking about him being on the hot seat, but it's because we're not satisfied with simply making the postseason. We want more. But listen, you want an NCAA team? We're going to keep that thing going.
Absolutely, my man.
All right, there's a lot of good teams in the bag. Ray's going in the bag today.
All right, I want this very, very much on the record here. I have no idea what's going in. I'm just picking a team out. All right, let's see what we got for you.
They got a good one, Ray.
Right. I got the field, which
that's not bad.
I know Mike gave us the field. I feel bad on that one, though, because now you're basically playing for 10 seats here.
Yeah, because we have 1 through 8 in there.
I know this isn't our thing to make the decision on, but I say We dump this audio right now.
All right, we're dumping.
I throw this in the trash and we get something else for Anthony.
Ray's making an executive decision. We're going to get you a better team than just the field because we're late in the tournament.
Nice.
Now.
If a 10 seed wins, I'll apologize to you later. All right.
What do you
man.
get?
You can read this one.
Wow. A number 1 seed. You got Florida, Anthony.
Let's go.
All right, so stay on the line so our producer can get your info because that may be a winner right there. If Florida makes the Final Four, Anthony's getting a gift certificate to a restaurant. Now, Anthony's answer is one that I thought we would get, Mike. Mike. So used to talking to Mike. I'm sorry, Ray. I miss him. Miss you, Mikey. Miss if you're out there. I thought we would get this answer right away, that Rob Thomson was on the hot seat. And like I said, I've been critical of the guy. I mean, what's your position? Are we sometimes, especially with baseball managers, do we blame them too much instead of looking at the players?
Yeah. 100%. Also, like the caller points out, I think Anthony said, taking pitchers out in the 5th or the 6th inning. The Phillies last year were top 5 in innings pitched by starters. And remember, they were going without a 5th starter pretty much every 5th. Like, Taijuan Walker was one of those starters. They had bullpen games in there. They had Tyler Phillips in there. Like, no disrespect, Tyler Phillips had that one complete game. He's from here, yada, yada. But, like, we've done that so many. We throw things out there that, like, they do things that are not necessarily new school baseball. Like, some of the things that you should like, keeping pitchers in longer, they actually do compared to the rest of baseball. You just don't see the rest of baseball. You see the Phillies, so you're hyper-focused on criticizing the manager. But at the end of the day, the manager wasn't chasing the ball outside the zone in the postseason. Or he didn't tell Hoffman, serve up a meatball here in the playoffs.
Yeah, the bullpen woes in the postseason, it's hard to blame him when your best bullpen guy just falls off. But I have had my issues with his lack of accountability. Because when you say it's not his fault that they continue to chase. I don't know, I was reading an article today by Paul Hagan on NBC Sports Philadelphia. And Rob Thomson says one of the biggest things is to not lose the clubhouse. And Hagan says the real trick is being able to juggle the egos and personalities. And that's something that Rob Thomson excels at. Well, does he? I mean, really, does he? I want to have this conversation because you got Alec Boehm sulking. He needs to be benched. You have guys that continue to chase who aren't changing. You allowed complacency to set in down the stretch last season. We'll continue this conversation because you sound like a Rob Thomson defender. It feels like Mike Missanelli's here again. We'll continue to Phillies. We'll get to more of your texts on the other side. Who faces a make-or-break season this season? We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can engage during the show and you're not going to want to miss all the content that we post. It's not only the live videos, it's videos after the fact. It's our shorts. It's all the content you want as a Philadelphia sports fan. Looking forward to connecting.